Alright YouTubers, this is Great to Be Riding, and today I've been very lucky to be able to be one of the first people to take out a brand new Tauranga 800 XRX for a test ride. You all know that I own Triumphs, so I'm going to be as objective as I can be, and so this bike, I freaking love it. Okay, so the main complaints about previous Tigers, both the Roadie and the XC, were the wooden brakes. So I did a couple of emergency stops on this bike, travelling at about 120 kilometers an hour. Braked hard. The bike stopped beautifully. The ABS kicked in at the very end on the rear wheel. The braking was strong. The brakes were progressive. So big tick there. The other bugbear that a lot of owners of the previous model have had is with the suspension, and this Roadie's got the standard suspension on it. It doesn't have WP suspension like the Tauranga 800 XRX. And I can tell you the suspension was nice and firm, but plush enough to be comfortable, and it was really responsive. Felt planted in the corners. The steering geometry was really easy to turn into the corners. Another thing I noticed was the seats slightly narrower than certainly my XC, and that's a good thing. I really like the fly-by-wire throttle, and by the way, that fly-by-wire throttle has eliminated the stepper motor, so there's no issues at all with stepper motors like some of you will be aware of. The electronics didn't manage to get the traction control to kick in, but it's a beautiful sunny day here in the Bay of Plenty. And we could only work out how to put it in road mode, but let me tell you, in road mode, this thing pulls like my Speed Triple R, and I'm not exaggerating. The torque on this new Tauranga kicks in at about 2000 RPM. I only ran it up to 7000 RPM because it's a brand new bike and I don't want to be a dickhead. And that torque curve was still on the way up. It hadn't plateaued out. This thing pulls like my Speed Triple. The cruise control, it's awesome. I've had the cruise control on. It modulates going up and down hills, sweet as. It was top notch. Now unfortunately the guys here, because this bike is so new, they weren't able to show me how to navigate through the electronics correctly. So I wasn't able to chuck it in sport mode or muck around with the traction control settings. But I didn't lose traction today. New tyres, good weather, so that wasn't going to happen. So I couldn't really talk about the traction control. But this model comes in at 21990 plus on-road costs, and I reckon it's a pretty good sports bike, commuter bike. Chuck some 50/50 tyres on it and it'll do any gravel road, no worries. And if you're a competent rider, you could take this down the 42 Traverse easy peasy, I'd say. This bike has got me thinking very seriously about trading in my Speed Triple R. That's how good it is, yeah. Alright, so post a comment, +1 it, like it, give me feedback.